A prosperous day, everyone. This is Nhoie's case. CASE is an acronym meaning clarifying and simplifying English. This is another venture under the Academia Gonzaga, and I am Mentor Nhoie saying, it is easier to make easy things hard and harder to make hard things easy. This is why today we will endeavor to make a hard term appear easy. Our term for the day is pandemic. Again, it is pandemic. To lubricate our mental faculties, let us first uncover a gem in the Bible found in James 1 verse 12. And it says, "Blessed is the one who perseveres under trials, because having stood the test, that person will receive the crown of life that the Lord has promised to those who love him." So, what is a pandemic? Well, let us first know where did this word came from. Originally, there are two words that etymologically suffice the word pandemic. These are pandemos, spelled Pandomos from Greek, and pandemos, spelled Pandemus from Latin. Pan means all, and demos means people. Thus, etymologically, pandemic as a word means pertaining to all people. Again, that is, all people. Merriam-Webster defined pandemic as an outbreak of a disease that occurs over a wide geographical area, such as multiple countries or continents, and typically affects a significant proportion of the population. Now, let us simplify this one by giving three criteria that qualifies a pandemic. First criteria, a pandemic should be an unusual or unexpected outbreak. Second criteria, a pandemic is an outbreak that goes beyond national borders, thus including other countries or other continents. Third criteria, a pandemic needs immediate international action such as airport screening, banning of passengers, and closure of borders. Now, let us try to analyze if COVID-19 is a pandemic. Well, this is the most famous disease that is hounding humanity today. First, COVID-19 came from China. Everybody knows that. A noted sovereign and within the Asian continent. However, a few months later, it also existed in the United States of America, another noted sovereign in another continent, which is the North American continent. It did not stop there. It traveled around the world. So this description coincides with the second pandemic fact. It crosses borders. It crosses countries and continents. Now, did we expect COVID-19 to come? Was it a surprise? Well, it was more than a surprise. A surprise that even the most powerful countries in the world lost lives and exposed the weaknesses of their healthcare delivery system. And simply, every country crawled. This coincides with the first pandemic fact, of which it is unusual and unexpected in nature. Then, countries reacted by locking down airports, closing of borders, and even repatriating people within touchdown to places of origin. This is a kind of synchronous international action to prevent a common outbreak. Thus, it satisfies the third criteria, which is there is an international action. Therefore, satisfying the three criteria, COVID-19 is a certified pandemic. Now, there are also two myths that need to be corrected. First, pandemic is not determined by the severity of the outbreak. Second, the number of cases is in just one country does not even make it a pandemic. The sickness or condition might not be that severe, But when it affects many people in different areas in the world, it is still a pandemic. So it is wrong to say that when the disease is not lethal and severe, it cannot be a pandemic. Next, if it happens only in one country, even if it is severe or even if it is lethal, it is considered an epidemic and not a pandemic. It needs to cross countries, or clearer yet, if it appears in separate and different continents, it is much more within the definition. So let us simplify our learning now. A pandemic is a disease or an outbreak that is unexpected and unusual that occurs in a minimum of two separated and different countries or continent, of which there is international actions, rules, and implementation being done to address its continued movement and propagation. So, let us try to take a practical look at this. If a disease started in the Philippines, with cases starting to rise, and it crossed to Africa, and the disease seemed to catch the health community in an unaware manner with manifestation of unexpectedness, and the occurrence of trend being unusual, then we only need one more indicator to declare it a pandemic. What is that? Let us now read notable and dependable press agencies and know if countries have already implemented international actions, lockdowns, roadblocks, border control to protect and preserve international health from or internal health from an international health crisis. Then we are sure now that it is a pandemic. It is my desire to explain things simply to all our listeners and streamers, so that the complicated things in this world will be simplified and practically applied to our personal lives. Let me leave you with a quote from a favorite medical icon, Bechara Shoker, a medical doctor, a public health advisor in the Department of Health of Chicago State, USA. He said, "The pandemic reinforces what we already know. We can't keep people healthy if they don't have a roof over their head and food on their table." Yes, the best action towards a pandemic is still addressing the basic needs of humanity for them to have a baseline foundation of building up their fortress against the pandemic. This is Nhoie's case. CASE is an acronym meaning clarifying and simplifying English. I hope and pray that you have been clarified with the term pandemic, and by now you can have a simplified way of telling others what this is. This is Mentor Nhoie of the Academia Gonzaga Systems saying, "It is easier to make easy things hard and harder to make hard things easy." Today, we just made one term easier. Have an excellent day to all.